Welcome to Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, with your host, Steve Garrett, lifetime member of the National Corvette Museum, president of the Corvette Club of Kansas City, Missouri, and radio disc jockey at the #1 radio station in Kansas City for over 45 years. Here's Steve Garrett.
Thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, and the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. I appreciate you tuning in. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Wheelcraft has the ultimate holiday gift offer for you. Buy a $100 Wheelcraft gift card, and they'll actually bump it up to a $250 gift card. And that's good for any Wheelcraft purchase, and it never expires. This offer is available now, and it's good through Christmas Eve. So visit Wheelcraft.com and get your $250 gift card for only $100. You can listen to Corvette Today on all podcast platforms. You can also listen on your smart device. Just say, "Hey Google" or "Alexa, play the podcast called Corvette Today," and you're connected. Be sure and visit the updated Corvette Today website. It's CorvetteToday.com. You can also access everything there, including the Corvette Today merchandise store. You can also join the Corvette Today Facebook group there and sign up for Corvette Today emails, notifications, and updates at corvettetoday.ck.page. And if you like YouTube, you can subscribe to the Corvette Today YouTube channel. See all Corvette Today episodes on YouTube. And be sure and patronize our flagship sponsors of Corvette Today, mid-engine-corvetteforum.com, the forum that focuses on the new mid-engine C8 Corvette. Meet a lot of Corvette enthusiasts like yourself at mid-engine-corvetteforum.com. And Soul Performance Products. Developed and manufactured in the United States, the Soul Performance Products exhaust portfolio has been tailored to elevate the experience of the world's most exciting sports cars, including the latest generation of the Corvette. Soul Performance Products at SOULPP.com, the official performance exhaust of Corvette Today. Aerolarri Wheels, a true forged wheel with over 20 different unique styles to choose from for your C8 and wide-body versions of the C7, C6, and C5 Corvettes. It's an amazing value, starting at only $23.88 for a set of 4 fully forged wheels. And use the promo code CT111 and get $100 off your purchase. Visit aerolarri.com, that's AEROLARRI.com, and use the promo code CT111 for your $100 discount. And a shout out to Corvette Forum and CanadianCorvetteForum.com, welcoming Corvette enthusiasts from around the world. It's time to bring you the latest Corvette news and headlines with my pal Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. Keith is here every other week, and we keep you current and up to date on what's happening with America's sports car. Keith, welcome back to the show. Buddy, I can't believe next week is Thanksgiving week.
It's really crazy how fast this year's gone, and now we're getting into the holiday season. I know a lot of people have already started putting their cars away, or they've already put them away.
Yeah.
It's just that time of year. The time change just went through, so I'm still all confused. My dog's all confused because he don't know when he's getting his food. So. I like this time of year. It's exciting, and there's always news with Corvette, so let's get to it.
Let's get to it, buddy. Let's get a Corvette production update at the Bowling Green Assembly Plant.
So we pulled the latest VIN counts from Roger Keel's spreadsheet over on Facebook. It's a couple days older, but it shows that the VIN counts are 4,762 Corvette Stingrays, and we have another 1,300 or so Corvette Z06s that have been built so far. So the total for the 2024 model year, we're looking at 6,130 Corvettes or so that have been produced.
Wow.
So far, we have no E-Rays produced, at least no customer E-Rays. As we mentioned, I think on the last show, the earliest TPWs we've seen for the E-Ray is still December 4th. I would not even be surprised if that changed. Hopefully they can start getting some stuff and moving it, but there are some additional parts challenges at Bowling Green, and hopefully they can fight through it. So far, no E-Rays, but they are still banging out the Stingrays and the Z06s.
Yeah, and at a good pace as well. So that's really good, and that's really promising. So hopefully we will get these E-Rays before the end of the year. Also, speaking of the E-Ray, we found that they were honored with the 2023 Vehicle Engineering Team Award.
That's right. Yeah, the Corvette E-Ray won an industry award from the Society of Plastics Engineers. You can imagine what their gala festival is going to be like, Steve, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The joint team is made up from GM and its vendors, and they're going to receive this award from the 52nd Society of Plastic Engineers Automotive Innovation Awards Gala in November. Here's what they liked about the E-Ray's use of composite materials. It says, the new E-Ray earned this award for use of several plastic and composite technologies, including a carbon fiber reinforced epoxy wheel, which is basically the carbon fiber wheel from Carbon Revolution. And then they also like the hybrid battery interconnect board, plastic oil cooling lines, a battery module side plates, and the battery module structure itself. Again, congratulations to the ERA team. May it be the first of many awards for this hybrid sports car.
I bet it is. I think it's one of many coming up. Unfortunately, we had another parts shortage, and it shut down Bowling Green assembly plant for a day or so.
It did. Actually, we've lost 2 days over the last 2 weeks of production, so not just one shortage. It's actually the same shortage from what we understand. So apparently both were due to GM's Bedford casting plants up in Indiana. They make aluminum castings. Of course, they have the Bedford 6, which is the really big joints on the car, but they also make engine cradles as well. We've heard both things, and they're just showing up late to the plant. The plant missed 2 shifts the week of October 30th, and then just again last Tuesday, both shifts were idle due to the lack of parts. I don't know if this was due to the UAW strike, which may have impacted other GM facilities getting stuff to Bedford, which then gets stuff to us. We don't know what the problem is, but hopefully it's just, again, one of these things that can be resolved real soon.
Yeah, hopefully it's just a little blip in the road for sure. And the good news is you can now download the 2024 owner's manuals for Stingray, Z06, and E-Ray.
Yeah, some might consider reading an owner's manual some pretty dry reading.
Yeah.
But for those with the new Corvette on the way, it's a pretty good way to acquaint yourself with the various controls and operations of the new car. I certainly would dive in. I've got my E-Ray coming. One of the cool things we do have with this is that a guy in the Corvette forum did do an E-Ray version of the owner's manual. So he went in and highlighted it all where there's specific E-Ray content. So even if you're familiar with the controls of the C8 Corvette previously, there's still a lot to know for the E-Ray. And of course, people are still getting their Z06s. So it's just, again, a great way to acquaint yourself with the operations and how your car works. Of course, don't forget the break-in, the service guides, and all the other stuff that for even experienced owners might want to pop in and see how they're doing things these days. Some of those service schedules have changed a little bit over the years. It's just a good way to keep abreast on it.
Absolutely right. Well, buddy, let's take our first break. When we come back, we'll talk about Corvette racing and Corvette rumors. That's coming up next on Corvette Today.
We all know that wheels make the car. Wheelcraft's PVD chrome finish in bright chrome or black chrome will take your Corvette to new levels. And it comes with a 5-year warranty. Durability is a defining feature of the Wheelcraft finish. Their PVD chrome is superior to traditional chrome with a finish that is brake dust resistant and cleans effortlessly with soap and water. Wheelcraft offers factory wheel exchange for select C4 through C8 models, or they can apply the PVD finish to your current wheels. No matter what generation you own, Wheelcraft will transform the look of your Corvette. With every Corvette comes a unique story, and Wheelcraft has embraced this idea. When you purchase your new set of wheels, you receive a lifetime membership to the Wheelcraft Pit Crew, granting you access to your own page on Wheelcraft's website, where you can post pictures and tell your Corvette story. Visit our website at wheelcraft.com or call 833-639-4231. Arrive in style with Wheelcraft.
Stretch the life of your Corvette's paint with NovaStretch, the performance protective cover. NovaStretch masks protect your C4 through C8 Corvette from bugs and rock chips, and utilize stretch fabric technology and an innovative fastening system for quick installation, easy removal, and storage. Made in the USA for a tailored fit, the patented design and breathable mesh protects your Corvette without rubbing or chafing the paint. And unlike clear film or old-time car bras, NovaStretch provides full front end coverage, including the grille, keeping the radiators and heat exchangers clean and debris-free. NovaStretch masks make a perfect holiday gift or stocking stuffer for the hard-to-buy-for Corvette enthusiast on your shopping list. And if you're planning on going on the Caravan next year, a NovaStretch mask is a must. Visit NovaStretch.com and use the promo code CorvetteToday15. Get 15% off your purchase. Protect your Corvette with NovaStretch.
Are you ready to take your Corvette to the next level? Look no further than Classic Trim Customs. We've manufactured some of the most impressive Corvette parts on the market, from engine bay panels to splitters and side skirts. With over 30 years of experience in hydrographics, we've perfected the technique and use only state-of-the-art materials and equipment to ensure the highest quality and precision. Visit our website at ClassicTrimCustoms.com or give us a call at 305-258-3090 to learn more about our products and services. Whether you want to create a show-stopping ride or just add a touch of personalization, the sky is the limit with Classic Trim Customs. Let us help you create the Corvette of your dreams.
Hi, I'm Phil Pataki with Car Capsule. Our new signature model comes with a carbon fiber look floor with double stitching and zipper pulls for easy up and down, easy access. We have our LED light kit with a remote control, and of course we have the IntelliCharger that actually integrates with this car and many other cars. We preserve and protect and present the finest vehicles in the world, and yours is next. Check us out at carcapsule.com.
And now, back to Corvette Today with your host and my husband, Steve Garrett.
Hey, thanks for checking out Corvette Today on podcast and YouTube. It's the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Wheelcraft has the ultimate holiday gift for you. Buy a $100 Wheelcraft gift card, and they'll actually bump it up to a $250 gift card. And that's good for any Wheelcraft purchase, and it never expires. This offer is available now, and it's good through Christmas Eve, so visit wheelcraft.com and get your $250 gift card for only $100. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is Keith Cornett. Every other week, we keep you current and up to date on what's happening with America's sports car. Keith, let's first talk about Corvette Racing. Unfortunately, it's the end of Corvette Racing. How did we do in Bahrain?
It was the last race of the year. Corvette Racing actually finished 7th in the class out of the 8 hours of Bahrain, and that did close the season. It was a historic season, though, for Corvette Racing's WC team. They already clinched the GTE Amateur Class Championship in July with 2 races to go. In terms of the season itself, Corvette Racing saw the checkered flag in 3 races, which included the 24 hours of Le Mans, the 1,000 miles of Sebring, and the 6 hours at Portimao. Whenever you have success like that, it was a pretty good season, Steve. Next year, we're going to see the transition to the Corvette Z06 GT3R. That's going to be campaigned by the British team TF Sport in the new Le Mans GT3 class. So there'll be 2 cars running there next year. We'll be able to start all over again. I believe the season starts in March for the WEC. We'll be watching that schedule and seeing where they're going.
For sure. And speaking of the WEC, Laura Klauser gave a speech at the WEC Awards banquet. Talk to me about what she said.
Yeah, so it was pretty fun. I just caught some videos on Facebook. Apparently, she was given an award for Personality of the Year in the WEC, and I guess this is all due to everything they're doing. Of course, they're running the Cadillacs there in addition to Corvette Racing this year, and then we got the transition to the GT3 team. Cadillac Racing is still going to be over there, so it's a big deal for us. She got this award, and as she was up on stage being recognized, it was kind of funny because her presentation was briefly interrupted when Corvette Racing team members started blowing the train horn. That train horn that is always there at Le Mans for signaling lunchtime. And in fact, when the race was over at Bahrain, they pulled out the train horn and let it rip as well, the champions of the class. Corvette Racing photographer Richard Prince was there, and this is what he says about it. He says, in a bad boy tradition started by Don Mayle and perpetuated by David James for many years, the Corvette team rocked Le Mans each day leading up to the 24-hour race by blasting the train horn on pit lane at lunchtime. He says, this rebellious act has been a beloved Le Mans tradition for a long time and one of the many things that endeared Corvette Racing to the fans the world over. We think that's great. Of course, this was Corvette Racing team that's doing it. Next year, we're transitioning to the TF Sport. We'd really like to see that Le Mans tradition continue over with the new team. Again, it was just something fun. And of course, David James, who was with the team for a long time, kind of a jack of all trades, but he also drove the transporters. That was his thing to do. Really cool. I hope they keep up the tradition, but we've got video of Laura Klauser. She starts to talk, and all of a sudden that train horn rips. And Steve, they don't stop for a minute. They let it go and go and go. It's a fun moment there. It's just Corvette Racing beating Corvette Racing.
I'll have to look at that video. That'll be fun. In the rumors section, Keith, this is big stuff. A GM parts catalog leaked the confirmation of the ZR1 with an LT7 engine that's turbo powered. Now, this is V8 with 5.5 liters, right?
Exactly, yeah. So previous, the Corvette engineering team's 2-week stint at the Nürburgring last month, been all kinds of speculation about what engine would be powering that King of the Hill sports car. Would it be a V8 with turbos? Would it be another performance hybrid like the E-Ray? Well, the GM parts catalog leak, it helped us now. We really understand that we're looking at the Corvette ZR1 with a 5.5-liter twin turbo, and then the engine will also have direct injection, variable valve timing, and active fuel management.
Wow.
One of the big questions about the LT7 remaining is whether we'll have the flat plane crankshaft like the Z06's LT6 motor, or to help reduce vibrations, will we see the RPMs come down a little bit, and we'll have a low revving cross-plane crank V8.
Right.
They're still kind of working out those details, but one other thing about this leak is that the descriptions show the customer engine build program as well. We haven't had that for the C8 era yet. The program was set to debut with the LT6, but with all the issues of rolling out the car last year and stuff like that, those plans were shelved. Maybe for the ZR1, we will finally see the engine build return. some real movement there on getting a better understanding of what we're going to see in the ZR1.
Yeah, that would be really cool to get that program back again. But the funny thing is first of all, we got this leak, and then we got another leak that said, no, the LT7 is a diesel engine. What the heck is that all about?
This is GM, I think, just having a little fun. They're also cleaning up their mess on aisle 12, as we like to say.
Right.
So it was a guy over in the Corvette forum who found the original leak in the GM parts catalogs. These are global catalogs. You'll see a lot of different parts companies, but it's all the same data. It's the same image. It's the same parts number, so to speak. The guy who found it says that GM started scrubbing the parts catalog later that same day once the story started coming out. And the references for the LT7 were changed from a 5.5-liter twin turbo to a 4.3-liter V6 diesel motor. And again, we think they're having some fun with us. Of course, we did enjoy putting up a photo of a 1980s Oldsmobile, which had the RPO LT7, which was a V6 diesel. Apparently, that only stayed up for a couple of days, and all that information's now gone. But this guy is still digging, and he says he's still finding some stuff with LT7 references. And there's a code in there. It's like a Y code, and it's a Y and then something after it. And then that appears to designate, okay, Stingray, that one's for Z06. This Y is for the ZR1. So that's what we're seeing still, some references in there. As we get closer to regular production of this car, which could be as early as next year, might be actually in 2025, we're going to actually see more of these leaks. That's one of the benefits that we have of watching this huge corporation that has so many moving parts. There's no possible way they can lock down all that information. And before the internet, no one would have found this stuff. Just one of the benefits that we have. And of course, all these Corvette enthusiasts out there, doing the legwork for people like you and me to be able to find this stuff and bring it to light. Again, this is just an enthusiast found this info and is having some fun with it. And of course, GM's having some fun with us. So yeah, it's all in fun.
Yeah. Don't they realize we're smarter than the average bear? We know where to look for this stuff, and it's not April Fool's Day either. So stop the.
That's right. Steve, are we supposed to shrug our shoulders and say, oh, okay, it's a diesel engine? Okay.
Yeah.
We had that crate at the Corvette Museum that had the LT7 beta listed on it. It was like burned into the crate.
Right.
We know LT7. We see it in the parts catalog, and it's not a diesel.
They can't fool us. Speaking of rumors, Keith, GM did file a patent for a hybrid metal composite two-piece wheel. That sounds interesting.
We like to say that GM's reinventing the wheel once again. Well, maybe it's the carbon fiber wheel they're reinventing once again, but This is a recent patent application for wheels built from a combination of metal and composite material. So the idea is that it still saves weight with the composite material. If you do the visible carbon fiber weave on it, you get that look, but it's going to be stronger because you do have the metal barrel. With the current lawsuits about cracked wheels on C7 still unsettled, no doubt that GM would really like to see some more durable wheels in its future lineup anyways. But this might be just one way how they do it, of course. We don't really have any major reports of current production wheels, any kind of cracking there. We did see some cracking on one of the CTF cars and the pre-production cars. Bound to happen. They really tear those cars up. We might be looking at some new wheels for a future Corvette.
Hey, if they're carbon fiber, I'm all in, buddy.
I know that.
And our last rumor, Keith, and this is big stuff. GM may build the Corvette EV and an electric Cadillac, but they're going to build it possibly at the Lansing Grand River facility.
Yeah, so within the UAW agreement, there's always a section in there that kind of discusses future production. And so one of the facilities that was being targeted by GM to build electric vehicles is that current Lansing Grand River facility in Michigan. I think they're building Camaros right now and some Cadillacs. So they're talking about that might be the facility that builds like Corvette EV. It could be the SUV, it could be the sedan that we've been hearing. Mm-hmm. So it's really kind of unsure yet. We're also looking at possibly 2027 as a start date there. But again, a lot of this stuff's up in the air. We talked about the Corvette SUV. If an EV comes, Chevrolet already has 9 SUVs on the market. So where do you find the space to put a Corvette EV in there as well? If that's an SUV. But, it's just one of these things that come out of these agreements. We'll be looking to see if there's any other interesting things in there. I don't know if the agreement's been made public for all of us yet. I do know that in terms of the UAW strike, that the board has approved it, then it goes out to the membership, I think. I don't think the membership has fully approved it yet, but that's all coming.
That sounds good. All right, buddy, time for our final break. When we come back, it's the lighter side of Corvette on deck here on Corvette Today.
Are you ready for a better insurance policy without the Corvette tax? With Agreed Value Protection, the value of your collector vehicle will never change. Plus, you'll save money. Get a quick quote at ncminsurance.com.
Yogi Berra once said, if you don't know where you're going, you'll probably end up there. At True Wealth & Company, we take that to heart. See, at True Wealth & Company, we believe your retirement lifestyle travels through two doors. Door number one, the blue door, gives you more options, financial freedom. Your money outlives you. Every happiness you wish for in life is through the blue door. Door number two, the red door, is where you outlive your money. You rely on family, friends, or even the state to take care of you. At True Wealth & Company, we're not just financial planners. The best way to walk through the blue door is to have a written plan. Make a work optional lifestyle a reality with our proprietary True Life Map formula. Look towards your future with anticipation, not apprehension. Having a rock-solid fiduciary partner like True Wealth & Company is essential to effective financial planning. There's no winging it. There's nothing left to chance. Look, we don't want you to become another Yogi Berra-ism. Give us a call today at 913-653-TRUE. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Start your financial independence and work optional lifestyle today.
913-653-8783. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Investment advice offered through True Wealth & Company, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Kansas.
VetFinders.com is the Internet's original Corvette classified ads website, with classified ads starting at just $25. And every ad runs until your Corvette is sold. If you're in the market for a Corvette, VetFinders.com has over 500 Corvettes for sale from all around the USA and Canada and covering all 8 generations. Visit VetFinders.com, the Internet's destination for buying and selling Corvettes. That's VETTE Finders.com.
The Radiator Grill Store offers C8 Corvette A-pillar wind diffusers in beautiful carbon fiber or OEM gloss black that help reduce wind buffeting when a window is open. Easy installation and OEM fitment. Plus, get 10% off your total purchase with the promo code CT10 at radiatorgrillstore.com.
When you want to buy a Corvette, or any Chevrolet for that matter, get yours from Hendrick Chevrolet Shawnee Mission, located in Kansas City. Hendrick Chevrolet is the largest Corvette dealership and showroom in the Midwest. With a knowledgeable sales staff and Corvette sales specialists on hand, they'll help you build the Corvette of your dreams, and they ship nationwide. With Corvette certified master mechanics on site and a huge parts department with over 24,000 parts and $2 million in inventory, Hendrick Chevrolet is well equipped to take care of your every need. From sales to service to collision repair, Hendrick Chevrolet has you covered. Visit ChevyUSA.com or call 913-384-1550.
You're enjoying the only current podcast on Corvettes, Corvette Today.
Thanks once again for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Wheelcraft has the ultimate holiday gift for you. When you buy a $100 gift card, they'll actually bump it up to a $250 gift card. And that's good for any Wheelcraft purchase, and it never expires. This offer is available now, and it's good through Christmas Eve, so visit Wheelcraft.com and get your $250 gift card for only $100. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger is with me every other week. We keep you current and up to date on what's happening with America's sports car. If you want a deeper dive into any of the stories that Keith and I cover, you can always go to CorvetteBlogger.com. In this final segment, we always talk about the lighter side of Corvette. Keith, we had the top Corvette dealerships through October just come out.
Yeah, we had a source. Sometimes we get these, sometimes we don't. It's funny how they do come up, and they come in a couple different formats sometimes. You know, we're just happy to get it. But what we got was a list of the top 20 Corvette dealers in calendar year 2023 through October 31st. We just had an update in September, or I guess it was the end of August. The order hasn't really changed. We're still seeing McMulkin Chevrolet. They're the top dealer for 2023 so far. They're at 1,358 deliveries. And then second is C2 Corvette of Atlantic City with 975. You can see McMulkin's really stretched out their lead there as part of being the world's biggest Corvette dealer, and congratulations to them. Third place, again, we have our friend Mike Furman at Criswell Chevrolet. He's at 467. And then from there, the list goes down. Baumden, Dadeland, 433. Les Stanford Chevrolet, 379. Stingray Chevrolet in Florida here, 242. So you can kind of see that. We've got the full 20 on there. No big changes that we've seen. What I always tell people is that while these are the big dealers, most of them, especially in the top 10, sell at MSRP. By far, most Corvettes are bought outside of these dealers. One time I ran the numbers, and it was like 85% or almost closer to 90% of Corvettes are bought outside this dealer's list. We always recommend talk to a top 10 dealer, talk to a top 20 dealer, but also look up the biggest dealer in your neighborhood or your state, your region. Work with a local one as well and see if you can get that, because the big guys still have plenty of people on their list, especially even Stingrays, even though we're in the fifth year of the car, while some of the smaller dealerships outside the top 20, even outside the top 50, they've already worked through their customer list. And some of them are even ordering dealer stock orders now just to have one or two cars on the showroom. So it's definitely possible for people to walk into a smaller or regional dealership and be able to get a car faster than you could get it through the top 10. The biggest question always is MSRP. And again, with the market changing on the Stingray, especially, many dealers are selling at MSRP. So we talked about last time, some dealers are selling at less than MSRP.
Right.
This is really the perfect time to start looking and buying a Corvette Stingray.
Good advice, buddy. Good advice for sure. And if you want the ultimate piece of rock and roll history, everybody knows Guns N' Roses. Everybody knows their lead guitarist Slash. There's a Corvette, a 66 C2 that is up for sale that he used to own.
Supposedly this black car, a black 66, it's got a 67 red Stinger hood on it. 427's got the numbers on the hood there. Supposedly Slash bought this with his big first paycheck from Appetite of Destruction when the band was really first starting to take off. And he had it for years. He said he'd drive it around though, but people would come up next to him and see Slash is next to me in a Corvette and want to talk about it and stuff. He said he had all the windows tinted so that stopped people from being able to see him specifically. He said eventually he just quit driving it. So he sold it originally in 2011, and it was sold at this Los Angeles auction house that specializes in a lot of rock and roll memorabilia. It was sold through Julian's Auctions. He got $108,000 for it at that 2011 auction. Wow. So now Julian's of Beverly Hills is having another auction coming up. They're calling it their 20th anniversary of Played, Worn, and Torn Rock and Roll Iconic Guitars and Memorabilia. There are some really cool guitars in this catalog. I went through and kind of looked at some of the stuff they have there. But Slash's old 66 Corvette is also listed there. The estimates on that car could be a little bit higher than the 108 that it sold for. It's got some really cool touches on the car. The keychain still has his name Slash with a little skull on it. Nice. It'd be a cool piece to have. I think that they said that the predictions are upwards of $200,000 on the car. It only has 35,000 miles on the car, and it is a 427 390. Nice looking Stingray, and of course owned by Slash. You'd be able to have conversations on that car for hours.
Boy, that would be nice looking in the garage, wouldn't it, buddy?
That would. Yes, I would.
And this is a really sad story. I was so sad to see this. A fire destroyed the Tustin, California hangar that hosted the reveal of the C8 Corvette back in July of 2019.
Yeah, if it wouldn't have been for the reveal, it just would have been another piece of news we would have read and said, oh, that's sad. You know, it's burning structure. That's never good. But because we've all been there, we were there for the reveal on 7/18/19. It hit us a little harder, I guess. Los Angeles Daily News reported that 70 firefighters were battling this fire. It's like one of the largest wooden structures ever built, 17 stories high. They brought in Chinook helicopters to dump water on the roof because there's no water actually on the property. They were running hoses way far away to get water to the structure. And they were bringing in tanker trucks that had their own water. Eventually, it just got out of control, and we just made the decision, you got to let it burn and collapse, and then we'll deal with it there. So unfortunately, the fire started overnight, and then by the next day, it just had this gaping hole in it. Again, just a little sad because we were there. There was a bunch of movies shot there. Austin Powers, you know, where he goes back into the future in that VW. Mm-hmm. He's backing into all their scientific equipment and stuff like that. That was shot there. There was a Star Trek movie shot there, X-Files, JAG. There was a couple commercials shot there. Again, it was this huge structure, so they could really do a lot with it. Sad to see it go. Yeah. The community there, they've been trying to do some different things to save it, but now might just decide to raise it. They have that extra land there they can do something with. But very sad to see because we were all there on the night of 7/18/19.
Yeah. And our final story, Keith, Corvette is one of the 25 cars that actually holds the best value over a 5-year period, which is encouraging news.
Yeah, and you know, what we're talking about, though, actually, right, with this study is the end of the C7 era, which is 2018 to 2019. Those cars are now 5 years old. We say, like, the research geeks at IC Cars released this study, and they were looking at that. They said that the average 5-year depreciation on all cars currently is 38.8%. But if you bought a C7 Corvette back in 2018 or 19, you're going to make out a little bit better because our Corvettes are depreciating at about 27.5%. So a little bit better than the average. And then the average difference from MSRP is said to be $22,712. The depreciation rate put Corvette at number 23 on this list of 25 best vehicles retaining their values. We obviously think that's, hey, we'll take that. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
But it was the Porsche 911 Coupe that led the way. They only had a 9.3 depreciation after 5 years.
Wow.
And the Porsche 718 Cayman was second at 17.6. Actually, 4 Porsches on the list. There was 3 Chevys on the list. And both the Chevys actually did better than the Corvette as well. There's a Camaro at number 7. And then I believe a Chevy Spark at number 19. I think as you get into next year, when we start to see the first C8s, we'll probably move up on that list just because there was all that high-end demand at the beginning and people kept those cars. It's a good thing for Corvette. We've always done well on these kinds of charts, but there's a lot of competition out there too.
Yeah, definitely. Well, buddy, thanks for being back on Corvette Today. When you and I talk next, we'll be after Thanksgiving.
That's hard to believe. We're going to be listening to Christmas music. And of course, maybe you have to open with a little Mariah Carey, right?
Yeah.
No, let's not go there.
Okay.
We'll be sick of it by then.
Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot, buddy, and I'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
All right. Thank you, Steve. If you see you out there, keep waving, folks.
Thanks for listening to Corvette Today, and please be sure to tell your family, friends, and other Corvette enthusiasts about the Corvette Today podcast. And thanks to our sponsors. Wheelcraft. Wheelcraft has the ultimate holiday gift offer for you. Buy a $100 Wheelcraft gift card, and they'll actually bump it up to a $250 gift card. And that's good for any Wheelcraft purchase, and it never expires. This offer is available now, and it's good through Christmas Eve. So visit Wheelcraft.com and get your $250 gift card for only $100. Soul Performance Products at SoulPP.com, the official exhaust of Corvette Today. True Wealth and Company at RetireWithTrue.com. Also, Aerolarri Wheels, get $100 off your purchase with the new promo code CT111 at Aerolarri.com. And Hendrick Chevrolet in Kansas City at ChevyUSA.com.
Thanks for checking out Corvette Today on podcast and YouTube. If you'd like to contact Steve with ideas for Corvette Today, you can email him at stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Garrett has 2 R's and 2 T's. That's stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Also, sign up for email notifications at corvettetoday.ck.page. Follow Steve and the show on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Threads at Steve Garrett DJ. Thanks again for listening and watching Corvette Today.